Hello, my name is Jeff. I'm a wizard. Welcome to my channel. And this is a video for some advanced manifestation lessons, and I want to talk about magnets to demonstrate this, or this is how I've been learning it. I'm doing very well. I've a lot better, and I am manifesting a lot of beautiful things in my life. I'm really manifesting like a boss. For instance, and a lot of small silly things, like at the kiosk at the train station, the guy at the register, because I have this nice talk, he says like, oh, you know what, here, have this for free, this book with my name on it. And also I'm a Sagittarius moon, but it said forewarned, so that made me scared. Did I read it yet? No, that's another issue. What I want to talk about is magnets, okay? This made me realize something very important. It came along with a lot of frustration I had with a lot of people sending me these links or giving me advice, or myself going over the same old stuff again about how to manifest. And it making me very angry, and I didn't really understand why until now. Before that, I want to be a nerd and bore you with the complexities of the etymology that I found. So I was looking up where does the word magnet comes from. And it comes from a lodestone that they found on Magnesia. So that's where the word comes from. Now, this is where it gets complicated. So, let me think here. A lodestone is a stone that they find that has natural magnetic abilities. But it's not a magnet, because the word magnet is reserved for materials that have their own persistent magnetic field. So they're consistently giving themselves magnetic properties, right? And the lodestone doesn't. They think that the lodestones they find on Magnesia, these are stones they found and they seem to attract iron, right? That they get charged by magnets because they're only found on the surface. Now, I'm wearing here, you see, this is hematite, right? And this was also sold as hematite, or I think, I don't know, I didn't buy it. But this is magnetic, this is not, right? Or like very, no, it's not. Suddenly I was like, oh no, it isn't, it's not. Because real hematite, right, is not magnetic. It can be made magnetic if you bring it to a strong enough magnet with a strong enough magnetic field, or you put electricity through it. I think you can make it magnetic. So it has very magnetic properties, whatever. And this is, it looks like lodestone, you know, the thing they found on Magnesia, but I don't think it's this. I think this is like an artificially made stone, which is called hematine, right? So if you have hematite and it's magnetic, then it's probably the artificially made stone, or it's a lodestone. But lodestones, I think, look way more rough. These are very smooth, polished, and they have very easy, nice shapes. So they're easier to produce. Does it mean that it has less healing qualities? No, I don't believe that. I believe artificially made stones are stones like anything other. So it does something, right? And I don't believe it's all about your intention. Right, okay, that's enough nerdy stuff. I think I just explained everything there. Yes, okay, then we can begin. What I discovered is that you have to look at manifesting a little bit differently, okay? So, let's talk about manifesting money, right? We look at videos, how to manifest, and we find all these tips about how to attract money into our world, or whatever we want, right? So we are learning to become a magnet for this, right? But you can be learning this, and maybe you start attracting money, right? But the lack of money, like having not enough or having issues with money or money problems, is not the absence of enough attraction, right? So you have to see the problems that you're having, or the debts that you're experiencing, or the lack or the poverty in any kind, you know. Sorry, my beard is scruffy. That's a different magnet. So you're attracting the problem, and at the same time you're attracting money, but you're attracting lack as well, right? You have to see that as two different magnets. They're almost two realities that are coexisting within you, right? So you can be attracting money, but when you're attracting money, and let's say you have this strong magnet that also wants to have the money problems for some reason, it has to almost attract more, or it has to attract a problem for it to still have that, right? So then there's a desire in you to attract this problem that is stronger, or that you're better at than attracting money, okay? And this brings me to the next step, because I am saying you're doing this, but you have to realize that manifesting gets easier the more you're doing it. Because I want to manifest a pentacle or some money. So, I have this magnet, right? And this other magnet or this other pentacle comes nearby. Oh, I attract it, magnet. I suck it in, right? Then this gets a bigger magnetic field because they're more, and you attract better, right? So the more you have of it, the better you're attracting. That's why the music is going weird out here. That's why it's very important, I've been learning, to hoard a little bit of health, time, energy, money, as to attract more. So, you know, it's like, that's something I've been learning, that seems to be very strong for some reason, because I have been dealing with, most of all, not how to attract better, because that was not my issue, right? My issue was that I was having a very strong magnet attracting the problem. I was attracting, if you read tarot, the Five of Pentacles situation very strongly, because, and that's what I've been learning, that's a complicated story, it was protecting me. Or there was a deeper level to that needed to be looked at, and I was protecting myself. So before I would look at that, I was never going to allow myself to attract a lot of money, because what do you do to yourself to protect yourself of heartache and pain? I'm not going to allow myself to win the lottery when I still have this magnet going on, because when I then win the lottery, I also have to attract like a disaster or a financial ruin to still make sure that I feel like Five of Pentacles. Or I will allow myself the money, but make a complicated situation out of it with that still gives me the same energy, right? Because this has a function. And if you're attracting the problem, you need to look at why or how you're doing this, right? So this needs to be dealt with before you're going to go stronger on how to attract more. You need to be sure that there's no other magnet going on. And just to say point one again, the lack and having of is not it's not about the attracting of or the not attracting of. No, the attracting of something is a separate process than the attracting the problem or attracting the difficulties. And this is where I think things can become a little bit tricky and even dangerous, or very difficult for us when we go force this issue too much. When let's say it's a health issue. Let's say you're having health problems, chronic pains, right? And you're trying a lot of things to do that, to feel better, to feel relief, okay? And it's not happening because this pain is having a function for some reason. It's trying to tell you something, or you're trying to protect yourself, or this is a sort of handicap that you lean upon so heavily for any which reason, that whatever you do to attract well-being or feeling good, it's not going to work to get rid of this pain. And it gets dangerous when you double down on making this better. That becomes dangerous because you're creating a really big tension here between two realities that still have to coexist within you, because now you're the person attracting a lot of healthy things and you're the person that has a lot of pain. And these things have to exist together until you resolve why this needs to be here, because it seems like crazy to think that there's a problem or that there's a part of you that you need to go talk to that say, hey, it seems that you want this problem. Why? But it is the truth, okay? And that involves some deep psychology and some digging, and this digging into these problems is usually like layer by layer. So have patience with that. And I think most of all, give yourself a break for all the work you're doing. And realize that acknowledging that there's maybe something else going on is going to propel you towards a better situation a lot faster, instead of going back to videos looking at how do you manifest. Hey guys, let me give you my tips how to manifest this dream life that I've created. You already know this. Don't bother yourself, okay? Now, to end the second point, because I know I've been mixing them, allow me. The difference in difficulty, okay? And this is where I need people to have a lot more, and I'm talking to myself mostly. I'm projecting on everybody. We all need to be a lot nicer to ourselves and softer to ourselves with our expectations and where we're starting at. Because let me tell you, when you want to, let's go back. We're attracting a pentacle. If you want to attract this pentacle, right? It's easy. If you have a starter magnet, you have a pentacle and like, I know what this is. I know what this feels like. I have the vibration of this, right? And that way you're sucking it in, right? So if it comes close, it gets sucked to you, okay? Let's say you don't have a starter pentacle. That's complicated because you don't know what the energy is. You don't know what it feels like. You don't know what frequency you have to go at. So you are aiming to recognize it when it comes near you, and then it has to come close enough to you and you have to recognize it and grab it, right? And that beginning can be very, very difficult. So give yourself a break if you're struggling with getting started in these things. On the other hand, it gets easier. So the more you're manifesting something particular, the easier it gets. You get better at this frequency. And also, let's just say something else. When you have it, let's say, oh, I have 3 pentacles now. These are mine. Without me, I'm naturally closer to the frequency of money because they're here, they're with me. So our frequencies are mixing. So naturally I am, because I have it on me, something like that, I don't know if they were trying to tell me something now. Maybe that's not all true. Let's forget that then. Let's move on to point number 3, and that's a really short point, and that was just more of an interesting philosophical thought, maybe. Because there's a concept called resistance to magnetism, okay? That's why the Earth has an electric field, or a magnetic field, sorry. I think, yeah, a magnetic field. But we don't all, or not all metals get magnetized, because there's an impedance, I think is the right word, or resistance to the atoms getting rearranged from plus to minus. Let's say they're too disorganized and it's too much. So that weak magnetic earth field is not strong enough to get all those atoms polarized so that metal becomes magnetic. However, electricity, then you can run electricity through metals and then they become magnetized. That's how they create supermagnets, I think. And then when you have a coil of wires and you put electricity through it, then it also gets a magnetic field. And if you put then let's say this sort of like metal into the magnetic field, you can magnetize this. But then it, after a while, it loses that magnetic power. That's why it's not a real magnet. That was too nerdy again, I know. But this is where I get confused because electricity is actually like a series of tiny magnets, kind of. But running, so that makes sense that running the stream of tiny magnets through things arranges the magnets. I don't know. But it just tells me the same thing, that you need to remember that that you need to see it, the problem maybe you're having on different scales. Like maybe you are not in the right environment to become magnetized for a certain happiness or a solution, or for money, for health. If you're not in the right environment, then the resistance for you to become magnetic to something, to attract something, is too big, okay? So environment counts, right? How you treat yourself counts on a micro level, on a macro level, the people that you surround yourself with, stuff like that is to think about, you know? So that's what was interesting to me. So that's enough about magnets. That's kind of all I wanted to share, and felt like it... no, I just have been slacking off. I need to do this video. So yeah, that's it. I hope it was interesting or helps. And then I will be now going to do a horoscope about manifesting to round it off. And then I've done my homework, and I will see you next time. Bye.